These are because of what we call the carbon trading mechanism. We're just only starting. So with that, before I will give the main keynote speaker, I will give the floor to our Secretary General, of whom he is the bridge, and he made means and ways for us to be here. He's a good friend of mine, a very humble man, the Secretary General of the uh, of the Coalition of Carbon Sink Forests, and at the same time from the Taiwan Climate Partnership. You have the floor, Dr. Chi Mengping, for a special message.
Thank you, Albert, and thank you, the Madam Sophia. We talk in last 3 weeks. We have so many dialogue every day, from morning to night. Communicate, yeah, long non-stop, and it's very good. I hope we can have a good future. Yeah, especially the good result tonight or tomorrow. Yeah, there were lots of issues. And let me explain, Madam Sophia and also friend from Indonesia to let you know what is TCP, because what you see the wall. The AUO is a display panel company. All of your computer, notebook, the display panel is from the AUO. Delta is a very successful. Do you know the Delta Thailand is the number one? In Taiwan, the number one company is TSMC, semiconductor company. And the Delta Thailand is the Thailand TSMC. Yeah, very powerful company. And Microsoft, you know, everybody knows. And Lion is all of your product, everything, keyboard, mouse, everything, what they did. But right now they are doing some EV car. And Acer, you know, probably Acer, Asus, you know. Pekatron is a supply chain of Tesla, and also iPhone. So their supply chain is there, all there. And we also cover the financial holding company. The banks also join us this year. And we are from the ICT industry. Why? Because you know, iPhone right now, their emission for the carbon is one iPhone is about 70 kilogram carbon CO2, and actually is a huge, because so many iPhone, and the Apple company, they push their supply chain. You should be net zero. So we got lots of pressure to do this, and it's not from the government to push. It's from the supply chain, upstream, downstream. So in Taiwan, lots of the company, they want to do that. We want to find our solution. That's why we want to work with Albert, with Sophia, and maybe probably we can do something in the future, some kind of cooperation. So this is a carbon sink, because sometimes right now in Taiwan, we also have the carbon trading system, but it's voluntary. It's not for the enterprise. We did such a kind of international enterprise. They should do is we need to find some good project, work together in the future. I think they would be good for Indonesia and also with the Philippines. So we hope we can join together in the future to be a good partner. Thank you very much. Thank you, Albert. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pong, for that very insightful comment and invitation to everybody for a global cooperation, especially the carbon sink country. Before I will introduce to you the president of the Chamber of Cooperatives in the Philippines, representing more than 6 million members of cooperatives. I would like to acknowledge also our colleague in online. We have Mr. Renan Diaz, of course, our colleague from the TCP, Rose, Ruwi Chin, and of course, Ma'am Donna, Ma'am Blesilda. With us today is the president of the Chamber of the Cooperatives of the Philippines, representing the more than 6 million member cooperatives. He is also the president of the Climbs Cooperative Insurance. This is a parametric insurance for transferist financial cooperatives, specifically for climate risk and climate vulnerabilities. With us today, with talking about the more than 25 years experience that they have, is Dr.
Yeah,
Noel Raboy. Please,
kuha
you
ko
have
mga
the
tubig.
floor, Dr. Noel.
Thank you, Commissioner Albert, and congratulations to all environmentalists and with heart on how we can help and act for the future of our children related to this COP28. We are very grateful to be part of this prestigious organization and activities, especially linking with the Climate Change Commission in the Philippines. I would like to acknowledge my chairperson of Climbs, Father Elmo Manching, and our principal and CEO of our Cooperative College of the Philippines, and likewise our team from Climbs. Can we share our presentation if it's okay? So, the Philippine Chamber of Cooperatives in the Philippines, it is a network of cooperatives. On its purpose is to develop to develop an enterprise on economic development for our ordinary people. One of that is an insurance, which is Climbs. We call that one as Climbs Life and General Insurance Cooperative, which established way back in 1971. And with this organization, which I'm also heading, we have developed a risk transfer mechanism in 2019
Nakain ba?
that gives parametric insurance. We call this parametric insurance as an insurance with specific values that determines in excess of wind speed and rainfall. And a week ago, we also got an approval. The Climbs Life and Insurance Cooperative got also an approval from the regulator, from the Insurance Commission, the drought insurance, to support also related to the lack of water. So these are the scientific way of determination on what specific aspects that create economic impact related to this climate change. Now, the risk transfer mechanism, which we believe that in the Philippines, this is the only way that we can determine the vulnerables. Like in the Philippines, there are 25 typhoons that will pass by, and 4 of that are severe, that cause a lot of damages. And the question there is how we can compensate them. Now, if we look into the Treaty of Paris way back in the COP24, it's said that there should be to develop a risk transfer mechanism for determination of losses and damages, which we are very happy that in this COP28 we are in Dubai, and there is already in the opening, it's already stated the approval of the loss and damage fund. And this loss of damage fund is the only way that these typhoons and the devastation of typhoons, devastation of the lack of water, that other countries can compensate on these losses, like in the Philippines. That in the Philippines we are the recipient of this the high temperature that we have that creates typhoons in the Pacific, and most of that will be passed through to the area of responsibility here in the Philippines. So after the typhoons and on this risk transfer, on this loss and damage, who will pay for that? No, so this is our, we call it one that that this parametric insurance, this Climbs Insurance Cooperative, developed this program, and we believe as of now there is no other way, but because it has 3 years of experience already, they're able to pay and determine losses scientifically in scientific determination of losses. Like if there is an extreme wind speed and extreme rainfall, and they constructed a cooperative that they will insure their portfolio of their loans, especially on the loans of the agricultural loans, and then if that values triggers, then insurance will come in. However, we know that the price of this insurance is very expensive. So this is our call now, the climate action, that we can ask countries that if you set up the loss and damage fund, and that loss and damage fund that will help those countries who are devastated and damaged, why not have a partnership with Climbs for this product and make this one an example, like a private public partnership that they can support. So those are I think Climbs already come up with a very holistic, noble way of compensating those damages, and hope that this insurance cooperative Climbs can partner with government and help support. So those are for the Cooperative Chamber of the Philippines. We are highly endorsing the Philippine government that they will come up also some partnerships on the private related parametric insurance. The other side also is through the effort also of the good Commissioner Albert De La Cruz Sr., that we're able also to come up the eco shop, that all of the products comes from with a label as a green product that will be certified to support the Sustainable Development Goals number 12 on the responsible consumption, that green products can be set up through a platform that all companies and consumers can sell and buy using this eco shop. And I think there will be some presentation on this, and this eco shop will become the standard, the gold standard of those companies that has a program on ESG. And that program of ESG will compensate and generate what we call this one a premium related to our environment, or it could be come up with carbon credits, so that these carbon credits, as we sell this one, then will be used also to compensate of those people that affected by climate change. So those are the things that the Cooperative Chamber of the Philippines would like to support on the climate action that we have. And through partnerships, we believe that all of us must act now. All of us must have this heart that we can implement, and using in the cooperative sector, using the values, our cooperative principles, I think working hand in hand, we can make a difference. As we always say, as one of the tagline for the Climate Change Commission, climate justice now, and that climate justice will start from our heart by taking action. Good afternoon to all.
Thank you, Dr. Noel, Dr. Noel Raboy, for that very, very important message and information regarding climate risk mitigation via climate mutual fund or climate insurance. So perhaps we can explain that more tomorrow Dr. Noel, to our colleague from China, from Taiwan, from Indonesia, and from other colleagues that we will be inviting tomorrow. We will be having more presentations with regards to that. So before we proceed to our Women of the Hour, our guest speaker, I would like to request the professor from National Tsinghua University, of which I am looking forward that he will be my mentor and I will be applying as one of his students in their school for their uh, PhD degree in SDG and climate change. I'm looking for a school for SDG and climate change so that we'll be able to finish the problem brought about by climate change. With this, it is a distinct honor to introduce to you a, a lawyer by profession and an environmental protector, Professor Chen Ting Fan from National Tsinghua University.
Well, thank you, Albert and Madam and distinguished guest. Seems, can you hear me? Okay, how? Okay. Well, it's quite an honor from your referral. Okay. And well, so far I'm also working closely with TCP and in charge of serving as a dean for the Taiwan Climate College. And so that's why it's somehow laid down a good bridge that I can be here and trying to seek for any possible collaboration further with all my friends here. And just like I know that Philippines, I think dating back to like almost 10 years ago, we have a project trying to work together with the Philippines in regard to the offshore wind power, because Philippines has been we call the Thousand Island countries. So you see, if you would like to install sufficient power facility for each of the island, it's difficult. But if we can take the advantage of the wind and the solar power, that would be beneficial to Philippines. But on the other hand, we also learn a lot from Philippines and also from Indonesia in regard to the geothermal development. Well, I had an opportunity to visit one of your geothermal factories. I think they got a history on that, and it's quite a good scale. I think that could generate more than 117 megawatt geothermal power. It's located in an island, quite famous, that attract a lot of the American after they retire, and they move to the island and ride on their Harley there. And it's quite impressive. And it's a very good renewable energy, and which combined together with the solar power and to supply the power demand of the whole island. I love that. And the reason we visit that is because we start developing our geothermal power recently too. And so far, a lot of our colleagues in Taiwan and elsewhere urge our government to learn from Indonesia, because Indonesia has the law and also a good large-scale development plan for that. And on the other hand, I think Philippines serve as a kind of tutor to Indonesia at a very early stage. So I know that both countries could be our good tutor in the near future too. And also I know that it's been Indonesia's national policy that around 2030, for your power supply, the energy mix, 34% will be out of the renewable energy. Well, it's a tough challenge, you know that. And because in Taiwan, I think that even up to like 2030 will be only 20%. But because limited by the our land space, that's a problem. But still, in addition to this kind of the energy development, I would like to draw your attention on the possible collaboration, maybe the regional collaborations among all of us in the region. For instance, for the TCP, all these countries, they need 3 types of the carbon credit. One has been for the NDC purpose. Secondly, for the trading carbon neutrality purpose. And also thirdly, as for like CBAM or whatever, maybe their own pledge, their carbon neutral pledge. So 3 types of the carbon credit they need. And so far, we are not so well prepared for this NDC credit yet. Anyway, that should be somehow subject to your regulation and the government authority. But for 2 others, I really see the possibility that we can further pursue the possible renewable energy project development. For instance, I know recently a lot of Taiwanese people visit Indonesia, trying to work together in regard to like the energy storage. Yeah, that's the good project that we can think about. And also for the Philippines as well. So if we can work together as a kind of regional program, I think that would be lovely. So let's take the advantage of the tradingness and the corporate pledginess first. So we don't need to be troubled too much about the contemporary, very strict rules and also the harmonization among 3 countries' rules. We don't need to be bothered with that. We can start working on that. And I think this gentleman here, he already got experiences in working together with Philippines, and we have a lot of very quick opinion communication. I think he's skillful, and the company is good. So let's see if we can work out something in the future. And in the end, I think that in this COP, the nature-based solution is going to be very popular and also very argumentative. But in any way, that should be the future. So if we can seek for the possibility to apply some of Taiwanese development technology in this regard, because we are good in agriculture too. So if we can work together, you both countries have sufficient land base for that, and we can take advantage of those financial support, and they could turn out to be the off-taking demand side. So you see, we can develop a kind of ecosystem for the nature-based solution, and that should be somehow like a 3 or 5 year cycle to develop. And you can pick up the right place, right technology, and we can bring in our research fruits for the purpose. And we can take advantage of their skill in this verification too. So I think we got all what we need together here. And let's see if we can work out something in the future that could benefit all of us. Well, thanks again, Albert, for your introduction and allow me this opportunity to share of some of my thoughts. And it's great to meet you here too. Thank you.
Thank you, attorney. And now for our main event, allow me to introduce to you a woman who was able to have the world's largest interfaith mass wedding that promotes citizens' rights and unity in diversity. Currently, she is the chairwoman of World Peace Movement, a movement set up to promote the importance of peace and tolerance. She internalizes the value of family first, kindness, golden rules, and optimism in her every endeavor with the strong belief that the value will prevail against all odds. Really, if we want to solve the problem caused about by climate change, we need to have individual change. She is the founder, CEO of the B Channel TV, a nationwide television network in Indonesia. She carried a mission to provide inspiring and educating and entertaining programs for families. With her husband, Adi Pronato, are founders of Adikenkana Group, owning gold and coal mining companies, properties, manufacturing, pharmaceutical, and technology development. She's actively involved in social enterprises in the furniture and handicraft industry, which employs up to 5,500 active artisans from the villages of Indonesia and currently export to 25 countries worldwide. Our guest speaker for today is very active in the field of education and serves as board member of many charitable foundations. These foundations helps combat poverty, inequality, sponsor schools, students, and educations throughout Indonesia. Our guest speaker is a world-class speaker who delivered compelling speeches in international events such as APEC Summit in Yokohama, Japan. She graduated cum laude with honors from St. Louis University with bachelors of marketing and masters of business administration. She is a lifelong learner who is always ahead in every cause and industry. Among her recent accomplishments was the blockchain certificate from Massachusetts Institute of Technology in September 2018. She is recently having the honor of being a chairwoman and founder of the Mahutani, an advanced farming movement founded in October of 2023. Together with Dr. Moldoco, the Chief of Staff of the President of Republic of Indonesia, Mahutani is a national movement to transform and revolutionize farming in Indonesia, inspired by young farmers using the latest technology. Their aim is to supply food production of up to 300 times compared to the traditional ways. The purpose of Mahutani movement is to achieve food security and food sovereignty with everyone's participation in Indonesia. And we're looking forward, my dear colleague, ladies and gentlemen, that their success in the food production in Indonesia, specifically with regards to food production, be cascaded to the whole of Southeast Asia and the Asian region. And as we very well know, food security is the nexus of climate change. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it is a distinct honor and a privilege to introduce to you a businesswoman with a heart, a philanthropist, environmental advocate, and a climate change leader, Madam Sofia Koswara of Indonesia. Madam, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. It is my honor and privilege to come here. Thank you to Senator Albert Cruz. Thank you, Commissioner Albert Cruz, for inviting me here. It's an honor. And greeting from Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest archipelago in the world with 16,677 islands. So it's a lot of islands. And with all these movements about climate change, we find a new challenge, especially about sustainable, renewable energy and many really, really big change in the globally. So I think the Asian countries, developing countries, Middle Eastern, and the African countries, we have a different values than the Westerner. Totally, sometimes it's a totally different values. I just give you a simple example. In the Western country, it is normal that the parents, when they are old, they put into the old homes. And then even the government now legalizing the euthanasia, you know, in Indonesia or in the Asian countries, parents are very, very precious. The older they are, the more precious they are, you know, like a very precious stone. And we believe the Asian culture, we believe that the blessing of the parents is the one who make you happy, prosperous, you know. Even the Lee Ka-sing, the richest person in Hong Kong, he told everyone, he said like this, if you treat your parents like king, God will treat you like king. But when you treat your parents like beggar, God will treat you like beggar. That's the saying of one of the richest men in Hong Kong. So with that, I believe that the Asian cultures very precious. This is the value that, our legacy to the next generations, even 100 years, even 500 years after we are gone, our children must value that is solid, based on God, based on truth, based on righteousness, So I believe that we must be together, the Asian countries, like Indonesia, Philippines, Taiwan, Korea, we must be strong together. We must work together. We have many advantage. We have many talents. If we strong together, we can have more advanced than the Westerns even. Not that we are competing on the Western. We love the Western as well. It's just the different values that we must protect because our values is our life and our legacies to the next generation. So by that, I believe that we should have a multilateral coalition like Brother Albert Cruz and Brother Peng already started. I heard from the professor also very insightful insight that we must be together, very strong, working together very closely, so we can prove that Indonesia have a lot of natural resources, very very plentiful, and you have the Asian, have a lot of technology that is sometimes much better than is we found from other countries. So if we can combine this together, we can overcome the world. We can overcome the challenges that we have. I just want to update you that we just launched the Maju Tani movement. Maju Tani movement is an advancing farmer movement because it must start from the change of the mindset of the people, that we must realize about food security, about all the challenges must be the responsibility of every countryman, not only the responsibility of the government, but every citizen must be responsible. So when we have that kind of thinking, then we can transform the nation, especially the challenge that the young farmers will not be interested anymore in doing farming, because farming associated, especially in Indonesia, we have 62 million farmers, is still in a very poor condition, is they are associated with poor, and not modern like that. So we must transform this with technology, with the young people. That's why we have like 8 startup companies that started the movement. I started the movement together with General Muldoko, the Chief of Staff of the President, that we have 8 young people that is very successful in the building a startup in agriculture. And one of it, for example, they started with nothing, started with 5 years ago in the garage. Now the company is evaluated at $5 million, very successful, using the technology that he made with his friend in the by control climate using the box, and can grow many valuable greens. Usually it's like a garnish, very expensive. Now they can very, very plentiful, very cheaply, and then 39 times more nutritious, so can overcome also the problem of stunting, and then the harvest also very plentiful. It's like 120 times more than the conventional method. And now from zero, already evaluated at $5 million, and now they are going to the next round, and they will be evaluated at $100 million. So this is just one example. Another example is a young, also agri-tech farmer coming from Indonesia as well, growing the strawberry because he saw the challenge strawberry in Indonesia. Why? Very low quality. It's only like 40,000 rupiah, while other imported strawberry is 600,000 rupiah. It's like very drastic. I said, what's wrong? You know? So he challenged, feel that challenge and overcome it by growing strawberry. Now the strawberry that he grow already reaching the price of 250,000 to 300,000 rupiah, which is, you know, already increased very much. And also grow very innovative, you know, like making a white strawberry, making something innovative. So I believe with the creative thinking, with the innovative, with the working hard together as one, we can overcome all the challenges and achieve the prosperity for all the nation involved. The next one that I want to report also that between Korea, South Korea and Indonesia, because we are celebrating 50 years anniversary of diplomatic relation, golden diplomatic, yes. So we just launched a Green Digital Economy Platform, GDEP, in last 13 September, after the visit of President South Korea, visiting our country, talking to our President Jokowi. Then the follow-up is Chief of Staff of the President, G2G, going to Korea in September 13, and making a platform called the Green Digital Economic Platform, exactly like this one, digital and green, high-tech, innovation, inclusion. So we invite in this event, we invite also Taiwan and Philippines to join together in this platform so we can exchange the best practices. We exchange the technology, the latest one. We exchange the innovative things. We exchange everything good together. Yeah. For example, tomorrow we will present about M70D rice paddy that was started by Mr. Muldoko, because usually we are Philippines, Taiwan, Indonesia, our people love to eat rice. If we don't eat rice, we feel we are still hungry. So rice is very important, even though now we have diversification, you know, of food, but rice still very important. And our national production of rice, usually in Philippines and Indonesia, is around 4 tons or 5 tons per hectare. But Mr. Muldoko already made a research and is able to have 9 to 10 tons of per hectare production, and can be done very shortly in 70 days only. So this is like a breakthrough as well that can be shared with our member platform together, like Philippines, Taiwan, and all that. We share all the best practices together. So I believe with God's blessing, we can do and overcome, and we can excel, and we can shut down the door of poverty, and we will prosper together. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, Madam Sophia, for that very inspiring message. With regards to the invitation for platform best experiences sharing or best practices sharing, we already have the answer, Madam, because we will be sharing to you a platform from the cooperative from the Philippines that we would like also to share. Perhaps we can share the links or we can share all together. That may request our technique to please share the at least the slides, 3 to 4 slides, and our time now is around 2:44. So we need to be finished at around 3:05 because we have to transfer to the Indonesian pavilion for the keynote of the Indonesian president. Thank you, Madam, for the invitation. So with that, may I request our technical to kindly share the link. The link is, we call it EcoShop, as provided by SDG number 12. Please share the link. the link that I provided. Thank you. SDG 12 provides that the future of this planet will be dictated the way we consume products and services. And okay, thank you. Dr. Noel Raboy tomorrow will be explaining the whole green ecosystem. Oh, sorry, some technical trouble. The Eco Shop is bracketed into different purposes. First, we have the green screening or green labeling, and then we have what we call the green selling, and then after you sell for more or less around $50, you have an obligation for the seller to plant at least one tree. So if you sell $100, you need to plant at least 2 trees. For all the buyers, they will be having what we call a tree bank embedded in the platform for them to be able to monitor the seedlings by means of tree growing a specific area through, again, applications or technology. After that, for those who purchase more than 500 pesos, with the help of the climate transfer mechanism as explained by Dr. Noel, then they will be receiving a points for their premium for them to have what we call a climate mutual fund. So we're so sorry because of the internet problem. Perhaps tomorrow we'll be able to show the whole platform. Yeah, it's there. For the purpose of purchasing, at this very moment, we're purchasing energy. We wear our dresses this morning. Perhaps we have a cup of coffee. We brush our teeth. We comb our hair. We have shampoo, and most of the time we're using soap. Soap wherein they are packed in plastic. However, the plastic will not be part of the soap. We throw the plastic, so on and so forth, including the toothbrush. That's why for this platform, the seller is selling a toothbrush made up of bamboo, diaper made up of bamboo, straw made up of bamboo. Meaning to say, it's okay, perhaps because of the internet problem. I will just try to explain it. SDG number 12, again, it talks about responsible consumptions and productions. But we want to have a total green ecosystem wherein we want our farmers, as being advocated by Madam Sofia, to have an equal playing field with regards to big players. We want to have a program from farm to table, because the problem with regards to food production or food security is not only the production, but most importantly, the logistic on how to meet and match the farmers or the producers with the consumer. Through this platform, the technology, we will be able to solve that problem. We're able to solve the problem with regards to production. We'll be able to solve the problem with regards to logistic. Also, the green ecosystem, by removing the middleman, removing the plastic packaging, removing the advertising, that causes more than 50% of each and every product with a very, very high carbon footprint. We remove the carbon footprint, we empower the farmers, we empower the cooperatives, thereby we are also protecting our planet. These are the PPP. People, planet, for our business people to become sustainable profit. It's all for the divine providence, our Almighty God, who provide for everything. With that note, we're inviting you after this to the pavilion of the Indonesia, and then tomorrow we have another round. This is just a warm up. Tomorrow we invited the Philippine Minister for Science and Technology. He will be joining us. Also, we will not be honoring the distribution of the certificate of recognition for today so that you will attend tomorrow. But we will be giving you the book, the work of the President in the Climate Change Commission. So with that, may I request Madam Sophia, our friends from China, of course from Taiwan, we will be distributing some token and then for picture taking. Okay? Thank you very much. Mabuhay.
Stay. Okay. Bye. In next Monday, 4 afternoon, some of our people try you you have one